What's something no one knows about you?
10 years ago, I wrote a book.
I've read it.
Yeah. Well,
It's very
there
good.
are about 3,500 people in the world that know I read that, and nobody since 10 years. It was a bestseller at Books 100.
Book's 100.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's written on
It is very
it's not.
good.
It's like
He's
written on
being
a
very humble.
fourth grade level.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's very
Outside of
good.
that, I'm pretty open book. There's not a
Literally.
lot. Oh, wow. Yeah. That was so bad. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
What
I
made
cook a
you want to
little.
do that? Write a book.
I've got a story. Everybody has a story. I learn, again, back to that teachable thing. You,
For
you
sure.
tend to be self-centered when you're young. And I had a really bad car accident when I was 18, and that's a long story. And
And
I
that's
survived
in your
it.
story.
It is, and I survived it and could not have imagined, given what I went through, that here 35 years later I would be walking around and healthy and all that. Truly, no one that was around it could have imagined. So
Yeah.
it was born out of a desire. I had employed a coach for my team. And at the end of one of those sessions where we were just all together and sort of going through business plans, she asked to speak to me and solo for a couple minutes and said, "Hey, there's some kind of story in you, and your assignment for next month is to write 2 pages of a book." And I said, "Okay, fine." And I went home and started, and I couldn't stop. And it was born out of a desire to have my story on paper for our children, simply.
That's really neat.
And then it sort of turned into something else. But it was an awful process. Hated it because
The writing.
Yeah, it was awful because there'd be times you want to write and you couldn't, and then times you didn't want to write, and it would flow through you until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And you go through. I got to learn. I know some artists in different fields. Got to talk to them because, in particular, I wrote one night and thought it was the greatest thing ever, literally, and went to bed and slept for about 3 hours and got up and read it back the next morning. And I wanted to throw my computer into the pool because it was so
Yeah.
embarrassing. So, yeah, that
Yeah, I
creative
think
process
that's
is pretty
normal.
brutal.
I've done a little writing in my day, and I heard one time that writing is rewriting
Yeah,
because you're
truly
constantly
true.
doing it. Maybe that's a metaphor for life.
Could be.
Yeah.
Just got to do it. I've told Ben, and he's had occasion, anytime you get asked that question, that you have to say, I've been to all 30 Major League Baseball parks with my son, in his case, his dad,
Yeah.
but we went to all 30 Major League Baseball parks together
That is
over a
so cool.
7-year period.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
And how many dads can say that they did that with their
You
son?
know, I don't know. You start finding out there's a community of people out in the country that are chasing that. It's not a lot of father and sons, but we have so many stories and inside jokes. They run through my head even as I talk about it, that only he and I understand, that we, still to this day, those things we ended 8 years ago, I guess, or 7 years ago. And that there are just, we made lifelong memories. It
That's
was
so cool.
unbelievable.
I love it. What are you most proud of?
Oh, my family. Yeah, no doubt about that. It was, our granddaughter was born, and I was so overwhelmed for a couple of days, couldn't put my arms around it. And I told Vicki it hit me. A couple of days later, we were driving back over there. And I said, we all as parents have selfish and I think the same prayers. We want to see our kids grow up. And if you have a daughter, as a father, I think you pray to walk her down the aisle. And I've done those things. And then she was born, and I just realized I had not prayed that far. So here I am in kind of bonus time. It's just truly kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, that's really neat. You've got a wonderful family. So, thinking back to what you do and your children's ages. So, what's one piece of financial advice that you would give to someone that's 22, 23, and someone thinking about retiring?
So for young people, two things. The second applies if they're married. The first is start saving money now, because I just don't want to hear you whining. It's never, ever, ever, ever going to be a good time to save money, ever.
Yeah, so true.
So ingrain that habit like other good habits, just that simple. Secondly, if they're married, you just, part of being married is sitting down communicating about money. And there's not a couple in America that enjoys it.
But
So
you gotta
again, it's sort of like eating your vegetables and exercising. Some
Yeah.
people enjoy that, but those are the sick ones. But you've just got to go through that exercise.
Yeah.
For retired people, I think it's twofold, and this sounds self-serving, but you have to work with a good advisor, and there's plenty of them out there. There are plenty that aren't, but there are plenty of good advisors. You've got to work with somebody. I've just seen the fruit of that for people over and over.
Right.
Because it's just not something you want to sit around and grind over. And there's just so much that goes in. It's not just managing investments,
Right.
but you've got to work with a good advisor that will tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, and you see this every day, and you have for 30 years, and so you have accountants that handle your taxes. You have an interior decorator that does your decorating. So you need a professional to handle your finances. It makes sense
It's
if it's
just
important
that simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things out there for young people to do a lot of things on their own.
Right.
I joke with people that the people that come to me, either their number has gotten big enough that they're now scared, or they've broken it and they bring it in to repair. I mean, literally. It's kind of interesting.
Right. Right. Well, one last question. The biggest mentor in your life?
So, I watched your video, and Chris was kind enough to mention me, which was very flattering. It made me think about this question. In fact, after Vicki watched it, we talked about this while we ate dinner. We talk a lot while we eat dinner. Can you tell?
That's good.
And so my answer is really different. I have I've been blessed to have wonderful friends in my life literally since high school that were meaningful, that shaped me. And so I could go all the way back and list different stages, mentors. But as an adult, the godly man who God used to really shape me and to teach me how to think correctly about some things was Gary Sladen. Gary's still in my life and a brother, and I love him.
Yeah.
And him and his family. But it's funny because now I have, it's evolved into a community. I always preach to our kids, you're going to do as well as the people you surround yourself with. And I look up after preaching that, sort of a platitude, and I look up now and I have got a community of people that I really rely on. As good a friend as you'll ever ask or have, a good friend of mine, John Blankenship. You know John.
I do.
He means the world to me. We learn from each other. Shane McFarland built our house. That's a guy that feels that same thing. John Frisk here, Chris, even though I learned from him. John, Tim Wilbanks. I could kind of go on and on. There are a lot of people that we've met here who have meant a lot and speak into my life, and that's a big deal. So again, it comes back to relationships and community and being fully known, and I love that part of living. I've been blessed to have a lot of people around me that know me, really know me, and that we can speak truth to one another. It's a vital thing. Yeah,
that's an awesome thing. One of my favorite quotes is, "You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with," and it makes you think about who you spend the most time with.
Absolutely.
So, you've got a good crew.
Yeah. And I think if you're going back to the 22-year-old self, I think if you're teachable, I would even say, I learned from Vicki. She's been a better human being than me her entire life. I don't understand it. I don't understand her heart and how good it is sometimes. I've learned from our kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think about that much, but I have learned from them over time.
Those little suckers can humble you.
They can. Yeah, I've learned some big lessons from them.
That's really
Truly.
neat. That's great.
Right after wanting to beat them within an inch of their life, perhaps. But
Yes, that happens too.
yeah.
Well, we're going to do some rapid fire.
All right.
Are you ready?
Sure. Let's go.
All right.
Hurry up.
We'll start the countdown now. All right. Big party or small gathering?
Small gathering.
I knew you'd say that.
Absolutely.
I've been to your small gatherings. They're good.
They're fun.
And you cooked.
I did cook.
And it was very good. Comedy or action flick?
Comedy.
Ooh. Favorite baseball park?
Oh, wow. San Francisco.
Really?
Pittsburgh's close.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. Honesty or another's feelings?
Honesty. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to go with honesty.
I do, but it's painful sometimes.
Yeah. Chardonnay or IPA?
IPA. You can pour that Chardonnay down the drain.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
What's your favorite IPA?
Bearded Iris
Ah,
in Nashville, yeah.
yeah.
And Humulus, Lou Diaz here in the Grove.
Oh, yes.
That's fantastic, too.
oh,
Hard to
man.
pick one.
Favorite golf course? Besides the Grove.
Okay. Secession down in Beaufort, South Carolina.
You are there and I am here.
Oh, please stop.
I bet it's pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Hard to pick. Yeah.
Okay, don't kill me for this one. I'm going to do what I did to Nielsen.
Okay.
Hole in one or romantic weekend with Vicky?
Romantic weekend with Vicky because she's present in the room. That'll be a point of discussion at tonight's dinner.
Oh, no. You would do the weekend. All right, one last one. If they made a movie about your life, who would play you?
Wow. Hard to think off the top of my head with somebody this handsome and talented
Charming.
all at the same time. Yeah.
Like Vin Diesel or something?
Yeah, it's got to be somebody really goofy that can be probably Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey. I don't know.
Like
Somebody that's not much to look at on top of that. It's a hard combination to come
a
up
combination of Will Ferrell and The Rock, maybe.
with. Yeah, that's it. That is. Yeah, that's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Steve, I always enjoy visiting with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time
My pleasure.
and opening your beautiful home.
Thank you.